Yeah, hey, drop.
Prime Coverage Sports Network. Real coverage, real conversation.
Let's go! I love that opener. Woo! It's Mac and Cal, Unfiltered Sports, Prime Coverage Sports Network. Man, you see, I'm still representing. I don't care that we lost. I keep it real, Cal. I keep it real. What's going on, my bros?
Oh, not much, man. Just little heartbroken after last night, but good season overall, and ready to move on and see what the rest of these playoffs got to go.
That's what makes us real to the cause, and that's why we keep it real here on Unfiltered Sports. We ain't gonna break down like no softies. Now everybody knows that we the hometown Midwestern Chicago boys. That's right, we represent the Chi-Town, but that's not what this show is about. This show is about, we're gonna cover all national sports news, big stories, the hardest hits, and one of the stories just happens to be our Chicago Bears, which we'll get into. But Brother Cal,
what's up, man?
The last time we met,
yep,
there was a thing that had happened that we hadn't had a chance to talk to because it hadn't happened yet.
Mm-hmm.
And this is MLB news, this old news to some, but it ain't old news to Marcus Mack. And I got a serious problem with it. Oh, I got a Mac attacking me right now, Cal. You know what I'm talking about?
I think you're talking about Kyle Tucker.
What I'm talking about.
Yeah, Kyle Tucker going to the Dodgers.
The softest man in baseball? Ooh, the softest man in baseball. Oh, man. Look. All right, I'm sitting here, I got my headset. I hope I sound great for everybody out there in our YouTube land. Once again, if you want to check out this show, just make sure you go to YouTube to see us live. Just simply go to Prime Coverage Sports Network and subscribe, and then you will see every Monday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central Time, Mac and Cal Unfiltered Sports. Now, shout outs are out the way. That dude, brother. Really? Mm-hmm. So Kyle Tucker, if anyone doesn't know out there, went and cowardly signed with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, there's been a lot of moves in baseball. Though I'm not gonna act like this is like the only move that's happened. The Cubs have made great moves. They signed Alex Bregman. Made a trade, got themselves a starting pitcher as well. So, there's things happening in other organizations, but the Dodgers have been ultra aggressive. And one of their aggressive moves happened to be Cal Tucker, who I would have had more respect for him if he would have had signed with the Toronto Blue Jays. Yeah, I would have had more respect for him if he would have signed with the Blue Jays. But yet, this guy who was a free agent, a one-year rental from the Chicago Cubs gave up a hot prospect to bring this guy in, a guy that's actually excelling in Houston. That's neither here nor there. He comes to Chicago. He's a complete washout for a season, supposed to help lead a team, and all he did was get injured, fake his injury, probably hamper the development of younger upcoming talent. I'm not going to say better talent because we don't know what Casey Owens is going to be or not be, and that was the guy that he was prohibiting from being able to showcase while he was playing with an injury. And then when the Cubs got bounced out the playoffs, he couldn't wait to pack his bags.
Oh, yeah.
To get up out that locker room. And then I heard people say, oh, he signed with the Dodgers because he was ring chasing. No, he wasn't.
He didn't want to be a leader, man. He didn't want to be that front of the face franchise leader. He just wanted to be in, and just flow in with the lineup.
Talking about he was ring chasing. He could have signed with Toronto, and that still would have been ring chasing. He could have signed re-up with the Cubs. That would have been ring chasing.
Yep.
He signed with the Dodgers because he could hide in that all-star lineup, which is incredibly weak. And here's the crazy part about it. The odds are so highly against the Dodgers. There hasn't been a team, I don't think, this repeated in baseball. Woo! I gotta look that up. It's been a minute. So if you think that you're going in to get the this year, good luck. That's how baseball works, baby. So this guy, he just wanted to go somewhere where he could not be good and no one would question his pay.
Yeah.
That's what that's all about. And that's what makes you soft. So I mean, I'm talking about baby food soft. That's my Mac attack right there. I didn't even want him to sign with the Cubs. Good riddance, Kyle.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
And we've been talking about that since the end of the season. That I was one of the people right off the bat that didn't want him back. I thought for sure he didn't do enough on the field for me to even justify spending that kind of money on him. I mean, he signed a 4-year, $240 million deal with the Dodgers.
We need leaders.
Yeah.
That's what we need leaders in Chicago. We don't need people looking for the easy way out. Okay? I ain't got no time for that. And I'm glad. Hey, sayonara. I hope you do great with the Dodgers. Or you know what? Actually, it doesn't matter because you're just another guy in their all-star lineup.
Man, tell me how you really feel.
Woo! That's come to Jesus moment right there. I'm sweating. Okay. I'm okay. You know, it's just some things bother me. And you know what? Just like when I see athletes and they talk the big talk and they want the big bucks, and then all of a sudden they pull this incredibly soft move like Kevin Durant did. And you know what, KD, come after me, all you, and I know you love to come after pundits that got anything to say about you. Oh, yeah, Mr. KD loves to fire shots. I bring it on, baby, because I'm right here. The Mac man ain't scared of. You took an incredibly soft move to go grab a championship. That was ring chasing.
Yep, that was.
And you know what? He got his. But in the pantheons of the greats, look at how he's viewed. He will tell you he's one of the greatest of all time that play the game. But I'm going to tell you right now, he's viewed like in top 30, 40 at best. In his mind, he's top 10. But those incredibly soft moves don't elevate you. You know what they do? They get you your ring validation. Good for you. But don't try to act like you were one of the best. And the thing that upsets me the most is that the Cubs could have paid that.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. The deferred money, I'm not about to dare sit here and say that the Cubs couldn't pay that at all. And Freddie, you know what, Freddie? I'm sorry. Disrespectful how? For calling an athlete like it is. This is unfiltered sports. What do they expect, Cal? They think I'm going to sit here and give them some bait? No. I'm going to keep it real. And I'm not here to be some screaming A. Smith type or someone that's going to be making a bunch of noise and song and dance. No. This ain't what Mac and Cal is about. What we're about is just bringing you nothing but the unfiltered truth.
Yep.
So, we got a lot to cover, brother. Lot to cover. There's been a coaching carousel in the NFL.
And a ball just dropped right now, too.
The ball just dropped. Look, we got a college football championship that's being played on MLK Day. Shout out to all Hey, to the day of peace and praise, Martin Luther King Day. Love it, love it, love it. And glad to be able to have our show going on today. It's a very special show. I really, really enjoy this moment. Now, that being said, Cal.
Yes.
In the move of peace and kumbaya, there's been a lot of that not happening right now around the NFL league.
Oh, yeah.
And like I said, we do got a college football championship on the line tonight. We'll reference that a little bit because we actually kind of covered that last weekend. You know what?
Oh, yeah.
I'm still in the same belief. Indiana's taking that, man. I'm not a gambling guy. I don't waste my money like that. But sometimes I do throw a little bit around, right? It's in the spirit of fun. I wouldn't put my money on Oregon. Oh, I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. I wouldn't put my money on Miami. They already destroyed Oregon.
Indiana already blew out
Freudian slip of who I wouldn't put my money on. They wouldn't. Yeah. I wouldn't put my money on Miami. Now I know there's some Miami Hurricane fans out there, the Michael Irvins of the world, but man, I just think it's a new day and age.
Oh yeah.
And that coach is just might be better than Miami's coach.
Oh yeah, I think so. Especially what he's done the past couple of years, man.
Now this is important, Cal, though. So you gotta understand. Now my feelings may be that Indiana's going to win, but you got to understand one thing. This is important because if Miami wins, then the old guard still can say, hey, we own the NCAA.
I know.
Indiana is trying to represent the new guard, new money, new infrastructure, new coaching, new ideas. That, hey, you know what? The college that you thought could never win in the college football, if you invest enough and you get the right coach, yeah, they can. And that's what's on the line tonight. So it is big. I want people to understand that. It's important that Indiana wins. If Indiana doesn't win, the old guard of college football is going to jump up tonight in celebration and say, ha, I told you, we got the best. We are the Alabama. We are the Notre Dame. We are, you take your pick, the Tennessee. We are the Blue Bloods of the NCAA. We are the Ohio State. We are the Michigan. And you can't come in here and get a title. No, that's only reserved for Clemson. That's only reserved for Georgia. You understand that? Like, even though it's been a while since Miami has held a national trophy, Miami still has done it. And not just once.
And they're still held to that standard of being those championship contenders because of those previous teams that they've had.
So this is big, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's one of those changing of the guards and really showing what, I hate to say it, what the transfer portal can do for guys who don't get those opportunities at those elite schools, that they can go to these other programs and be part of a program that can contend against these big dogs.
I mean, and so, like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and really go because I feel like Indiana has such the advantage. But if Indiana doesn't win, I don't think it's I think it's a hurtful thing for the new bloods of the college football that are trying to establish themselves and say, hey, we belong at the table as well.
Yeah.
And I hate to put that on Miami, because it's been a while. It's been a while for Miami. It ain't like Miami's won a national championship like 2-3 years ago. It's been a minute, but still they've done it.
Yeah.
And if Indiana wins, this is a signal that it is a change in the NCAA. If Indiana doesn't win, it means the same old blue blood still hold the guard.
Yeah. But I don't see that happening tonight. I see Indiana coming through and having that defense and the Mendoza effect and just taking over.
He's the better quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody wants us to pick a score.
Oof.
But you know what? That's only fair. Why not? You know what? Honestly, if it goes the way I think it's going to go, Indiana scoring at least 38. Miami 20.
I was going to go 35-21 myself, but
there we go.
Yeah.
That's our picks right there. Now, if we're wrong, so be it. But I'm gonna tell you right now, Mac and Cal ain't wrong too many times when we come on our picks. All right, when it comes to scores, sometimes they're way off, and it happens. But sometimes we get them really close. All right. All right. Switching gears here. We got to discuss the monster, the beast, right now, and that is the NFL. There's a lot that has transpired over this weekend, Cal. I'm sending out a couple shouts out to we got all of our viewers here on YouTube Snaps. Now, shouts out to Freddie. Shouts out to Olive Bean. Yes, sir. Thank you guys for joining us here, man. Keep hitting us up with your questions. We will make sure to get them answered. We're also going to have some guests tonight. We got some guests tonight, Cal, in the house. We're going to have Kenny join us shortly from Renegade Rundown, who's a part of Prime Coverage Sports Network. And then, you know, of course, always our show, what should we call him? Our show, what was that thing? And it used to come out in the Domino commercials. It would try to destroy everything. The Noid. This is our show, Noid. Freddie. Is that that's our show, Noid? Freddie Henderson. He'll be joining us as well. But Cal, let's just
maybe the show Instigator, maybe because you show Instigator. I think that'd be
a good the show Instigator. Yeah, there we go. Let's get into these players.
Yeah, hey, drop.
Prime Coverage Sports Network. Real coverage, real conversation.
Yes, sir. And it is time. Are you guys ready to get into these playoff talks? As we are joined by my man Kenny from Renegade Rundown and Freddie Facts Henderson. Welcome to the show, boys.
Yeah, thank you for having me, man. I really appreciate y'all.
Of course, you got nothing but talent.
Hold on. That sounds a lot better. Show pundit. What did you call me?
The show Noid, and Kyle actually came up with something better.
I think Freddie the Sports Instigator.
I like the Freddie Facts better because even though this is called Unfiltered Sports, you can't have unfiltered without the facts. That's why they bring Freddie Facts.
Wow. You know what, though? We respect that because nothing but the truth is told here on Unfiltered Sports. And once again, if you guys don't get enough of Mac and Cal, make sure to check us out on our AM radio station every Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. The truth about Chicago sports. But right here, we're talking nothing but national news, and we're talking football. Let's get it started with the first matchups that happened on Saturday. I need some thoughts, guys. What was your thoughts of the first games that it went down on Saturday?
Go ahead, Kenny. You can start it off, man.
Well, my initial thoughts was going into the game, I thought Josh Allen was going to put that cape on and be Superman like he always is. The problem is the Broncos was the kryptonite. They said we're not going to allow that to happen here on our field. This is Mile High. This is where we at. And we're going to force you into a couple of turnovers. Now, the last one was controversial. I'll say that. But you had 4 previous ones before then. So I'm not going to let y'all say that the referees gave them the game. You had 4 turnovers before then. And so, my thoughts on the game is I think Josh Allen did too much, but he did enough to win, but he didn't do enough to win because the Broncos ended up winning. So shout out to the Broncos, even though it came at a cost, but shout out to the Broncos for getting the dub.
Freddie?
Kenny.
Yes. Yes.
Kenny.
Yes, sir.
Stop being nice. Stop being nice.
Stop being nice. Stop
being nice. Josh Allen played horrible. Horrible.
Yes, he did.
Horrible. I mean, this was supposed to be the year that he takes the Buffalo Bills to the next level. This was supposed to be the year that they win. There's no Lamar Jackson.
It was gift wrap.
Yeah, no Patrick Mahomes, no Joe Burrow, and you lose to the Denver Broncos, who I didn't think was legit because they really haven't beat anybody this year. But
we're not talking about the Patriots yet, man. We're talking about the Buffalo Bills and the Denver
Broncos.
Right.
One step at a time, man, guy. One step at a time.
Jumping ahead of yourself.
Hey, at the end of the day, Josh Allen is one of the most dangerous players in football. He can run, he can throw, he can make plays. But Denver wasn't having that. They wasn't having that. And let's just be honest. We feel so sorry about the quarterback for the Denver Broncos. To break your ankle like that. Prayers for him, because you hate to see somebody get hurt so early in their career, especially when they accomplish things this early, this quick. Some that wish that Justin Herbert and guys like that would make that jump, but that's another conversation for another day. But I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised that Buffalo made it this far because I had them losing last week. But they made it this far. It showed me, okay, Josh Allen, okay, I'm gonna put these guys on my back, but he folded. And I think the Bills made a huge mistake by getting rid of Sean McDermott because I don't think it was his fault. I believe Josh Allen is supposed to be Superman, and as the quarterback, you have to step up in big moments. And maybe he made a mistake by not telling Josh Allen to take the knee before going into halftime. That's probably why he got fired. But hey, good game. The playoffs we've had the best playoff matchups this year. It's been so good. It's so good. Nobody had to say it. The NFL is in a good spot, ladies and gentlemen. People was worried, oh, Tom Brady's gone. Tom Brady's gone. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Oh, thank God we have the savior in Patrick Mahomes. But look, no Patrick Mahomes this year, and the ratings still high. It still proves that the NFL is the best sport in America, that they are number one because the ratings are at an all-time high, and we've had great games. And I can't wait to talk about one game. I really came on the show just for one game, but we're going to hold on to that in a minute.
Hold your horses. Hold your horses. We still got things to cover here. Kyle, what was your thoughts there on the Bills and Broncos?
Well, you know what? I do have to say, man, I knew that Denver's defense was going to show up. I think they've had one of the better defenses all season. And in seeing the way that Josh Allen came out and just ball security was like not even in his thought. I mean, you scramble and you hold the ball out, extended all the way, and it goes 10 yards behind you after a defender swats it out. It just, he didn't seem ready and focused for that game. But I knew that Denver doesn't have the ability to put up points. That was the one thing that's always been slacking this whole year. That defense keeps them in games, and they don't have – Bo Nix just doesn't have the ability or the people completely all the way around him to put points on the board. Because I went into this game, I'm like, Bo needs to put up 35 to win. And I hope he can do it because if Josh Allen gets on a roll, it's game over. I just don't see Denver being able to come back. And then just on Josh Allen's side, who are his weapons besides James Cook, really? He has nobody. He had Brandon Cooks, who he met a couple weeks ago, and is throwing him the ball, and that was his primary target. The whole game was Brandon Cooks. Kincaid gets his stuff here and there, but he was looking at Cooks all game. And I think, they need to start investing, putting some more pieces around him. But, I mean, the AFC is where it's at, man. I think that's harder than the NFC. And we can get into the NFC games, but I just think that the elite quarterbacks, the majority of the elite quarterbacks are in the AFC. And unfortunately, Jared Stedman has to step into a huge role next week and channel some Auburn magic to come in and take on the Patriots.
I'm going to tell you guys right now, and here's something that no one wants to say. I don't think all around, and you know what? I could get in trouble. Let me be the one to say it. Josh Allen is not a tier 1 quarterback. And everyone keeps saying that he is. Time out. He has been beat by Joe Burrow. He has been beat by Patrick Mahomes. He has now been beat by Bo Nix. He has been beat by multiple quarterbacks in the playoffs. Now we're gonna talk about the firing of the coach here as soon as we're done breaking this down, and I'm fine with that, because if we all think that the firing of the coach was wrong, then how does Josh Allen continue to be rated as elite? One of them failed, and if the coach is a top tier coach, then that means that the player is not at the same level of said coach. But yet the player has been paid a king's ransom. Everyone keeps saying he wears a Superman cape. Where is it? I watched him when the season ended. Game on the line. They gave it to Josh Allen to win. He goes for it and he turns it over, and the Bills lost. That was the last game of the season, is what I'm describing to you guys. Mm-hmm. Where was the Superman cape then? Now we get here in a critical game where he's supposed to be big time. They don't got the big weapons on the outside at receiver. They don't got the big weapons at tight end like a lot of other quarterbacks, including the guy that was across from him on the Broncos. So if he's so great, isn't he supposed to push through that? I saw Patrick Mahomes still win a Super Bowl after they let his best wide receiver in Tyreek Hill leave in free agency. That's called being elite. When you can rise above the things that are holding you back and still push a team to do something they're not supposed to do. The Bills were supposed to make the playoffs because they have a great coach. The Bills were supposed to win that game against Jacksonville because that was a rookie coach with still a young quarterback that Josh Allen has got seasoned over, and Sean McDermott's definitely got seasoned over that coach. But what happened when he ran to a coach that was on his same level? See, everybody forgets that Sean Payton is a Hall of Famer. Sean Payton is a Super Bowl winning coach. When are we going to stop acting like Denver just accidentally got good? When are we going to stop acting like Bo Nix has been saved by this guy, just like he saved Drew Brees' career? Did he not?
Oh yeah, he did.
He definitely did.
So now, so all of a sudden he can't do it again? Excuse me. This team is good because of Sean Payton. That is coaching combined with young talent. And so Sean McDermott got fired because he is not a Hall of Fame coach. He hasn't won a Super Bowl. And Josh Allen is not the elite level quarterback that everyone wants him to be. He just might be Donovan McNabb in a Buffalo Bills uniform.
Ooh. Ooh, hold on. Let me grab my real quick. I can't argue with anything you said. I definitely I know because I have a list too. And tier 1 to me is Mahomes by itself. He on a level by itself. I have nobody near him. And I realize
because Brady retired. Brady retired.
Yeah.
Those were the two. Those were the two when they were currently playing.
Yeah. And so now I got Mahomes by itself. But then I'm realizing how far the distance is between him and then everybody else. I think this is what this playoff showed me, this year showed me. Okay, Lamar, you're teeter-tottering, between tier 2, tier 3. And I had Josh at tier 2 by itself, right? Only because I think that in the playoffs, I think Josh Allen, this is probably the first game where you can really say, oh no, it's him. All them other games, you can say Sean McDermott, bad clock management, bad timeout, bad. Remember when they went for it on 4th and 3, backed up against the Chiefs a couple years ago? What are you doing, Sean?
Or when they were doing the tush push the same side 3 times in a row, it's like, what are you doing? Maybe go to the other side.
And it's just coaching error. So I see why he got fired because of his tenure, the way the whole time. You can't have a guy in his prime like Josh Allen, and you can't have bad clock management skills. One thing about Andy Reid, I know he on that clock.
Mm-hmm.
And on that clock. You ain't got to worry about him having no blunder. 13 seconds left in the game, and you don't even get them to force them to return the ball so that you can run some more clock out a little bit. So there's only 7 seconds left instead of 13, so they get 2 plays off and Kelsey going up and then you don't know that Kelsey going to go up the seam. They lined him up I knew the play before it happened. Kelsey's going right up the seam. Boom.
Kenny, you're young. You're young, Kenny.
Yes,
but I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something that's going to blow your mind away. John Elway didn't win with his original coach. He didn't win until his original coach got fired. And they brought in Shanahan. No, not the Shanahan that coaches for the 49ers. His father. And when they brought his father in to replace the head coach that John Elway had, that's when John Elway went and won a Super Bowl. This is the same situation. Now, was John Elway a top tier quarterback? John Elway at that point in his career, he was top 2. He was a top 2 tier quarterback. He wasn't tier 1 because he hadn't won a Super Bowl. He had the arm. He had all the skills like Josh Allen. He had all the intangibles just like Josh Allen. He could even run with the ball. People forget that. That everybody, you want to find a player to compare Josh Allen to? Just go look at John Elway's career.
Yeah,
he's
especially running towards the goal line for a touchdown.
Example of what Josh Allen was.
Yeah.
Now, but he couldn't get over the hump. He couldn't get over the hump. He couldn't get over the hump. And that coach, Dan Reeves, if I'm correct, I got to make sure fact, but I'm almost certain it was Dan Reeves, got fired. And then Shanahan was brought in. And it was that led him over the hump. It elevated Elway. Shanahan was able to take Elway from tier 2 to tier 1 and combined it with the Hall of Fame running back and Terrell Davis, a Hall of Fame tight end, and Shannon Sharp, and that then led to Super Bowl victories. Josh Allen is not good enough to win without him having a Hall of Fame weapon to be able to throw the ball to, and it would be preferable if he had a Hall of Fame running back. James Cook is good, not great.
No. But you know what? James Cook, was keeping him in that game, man.
He's good. He is good.
I feel like when they had the momentum, when it was 7-3 and they're going down, and I felt like, oh man, they might blow these. I was like, this might be a blowout. If they go down and score 14-3 with the momentum of the game, and of course he fumbled the ball right on schedule. I said,
yep.
I was like, man, that's how the playoffs are. Turnovers count for 2 in the playoffs.
Yes. Well, it does. I'm sorry. In the playoffs, it's devastating. And we saw that in multiple games. Not just this game, how turnovers can just cost you. And that's what it was. Look, Buffalo put up 30 points. So imagine if Josh Allen wasn't turning the ball over like a pass dispenser.
Yeah.
They probably would have won.
Yeah.
and I cannot put you tier 1. I cannot put you tier 1 when you're in the playoffs and you have 4 turnovers that cost the team. And you're right. You have every right to be crying at the podium saying, I cost my teammates the game. And then it's Tim Louis. Yes, he did. I love that y'all want to have his back and elevate him and raise him up to this godlike stature. Man, he had every right to be at that podium crying because he knew he did cost his team the game. And you know what? That play at the end was controversial, but he still threw it in a spot where the defender was able to make a play on the football. How about putting it on the back shoulder? The defender was on the inside shoulder. The ball landed on the inside. If you put the ball on the back shoulder, the defender doesn't have a chance to go in and rip the football. But let's not talk about that because it's Josh Allen.
They love him, man. They love him. I heard a guy try to say, it's the rest fault why they didn't win.
The national news loves him. Guess what? We're the national news now too. And and this is unfiltered. And I do got love for Josh. And I know Cal does, and I know you do too. But when you play like trash, you're gonna get called trash. And Josh Allen, in a big moment, in a playoff that didn't feature Burrow, Lamar Jackson, or Patrick Mahomes, you found the time to be at your worst. That does not make you elite Superman. That makes you super small.
Super small. I like it. I like it. No complaints here. I like that.
Let's move on to the next one that happened.
Go.
And that was the 49 Hawks. This game went exactly how I thought it would go, Cal. And I'll let you give your thoughts on it first. But I mean, there was no Scooby-Doo Sam Darnold in this one.
Nope. I knew right off the bat, dude, returning that kickoff for a touchdown. I'm like, oh, these dudes are ready to play, man. I just the way that I won't even give Sam Darnold that much because he didn't really do too much in the game. He didn't even throw for 200 yards. He got 1 touchdown. That was all Kenneth Walker. Hopefully Zach Charbonnet's okay. He looked pretty messed up on that hit, but that defense, dude.
Yeah.
That defense looks. I mean, I want to give them almost Legion of Boom, of Boom status because of the way that they were attacking that team. And it's one thing you could say is,
and make no mistake.
Looking at
go ahead, Cal.
Looking at these playoffs, and you brought up a good point about coaching, how important coaching has been for a lot of these teams. Look at Denver, look at Seattle. I'll even say look at New England a little bit, and then LA and Chicago. How important coaching has been for these teams this playoffs.
Yeah, I agree for sure.
It's been no surprises whatsoever. That's the best way to put it when it comes to the Seahawks and how they've responded in this playoffs. Mm-hmm. There's no surprises. Seattle is exactly what we thought they were. When it was funny because after they played the Bears, the 49ers looked like they were hotter than a firecracker. They looked like they were man, like who could stop this team after the way they played against the Bears? And then the following week, Seattle just made them look like they didn't even exist.
Yeah.
Like Brock Purdy, all the talk that they were giving him and all the hype and love that was being thrown on him, Brock Purdy looked like exactly what he was, the last pick in the draft. That's what Seattle did. Everybody else, he would lighten up like a firecracker going, I got you. Seattle said, man, you belong in the league, dog. That's scary. And they turned around and did the same thing again. Like, and you know, I told you, Kyle, when we were talking, and I think this was just us having our own private chat. And I told you, I said if Kyle Shanahan won this game with the 49ers, then give him coach of the year right now, because this guy would be one of the greatest, if not one of the greatest coaches ever, to walk in there with a team that was 60% and beat that team at home. This didn't surprise me at all. 41. All this did was validate exactly what I thought, and that's that Seattle is real. Now, does that mean Seattle is going to win a Super Bowl? No, it does not. But what it means is that Seattle's legit. The game's got to be played on paper, Kenny. Look at what happened to Bo Nix. And we forgot to mention that Bo Nix broke his ankle at the end of the Broncos game against the Bills. But we'll go back to that when we talk about previews for next week's championship matchups. But yeah, the 49ers didn't stand a chance, and I knew it. And you know, it's a shame because they put up a valiant effort. And Kyle, this shows you exactly why I didn't even want to talk about those sorry ass Eagles last week when you wanted to bring it up and say, well, we didn't reference the Kings. I told you, I said, that's the reference, the throne of the cat. I said, what king? I said, that king went and hibernated. That king got up off the throne and said, I'm going to bed. I'm tired.
Yeah, the Eagles. Well, I don't even know why you even brought them up right now, man. The Eagles, we shouldn't even have them in this discussion.
What? Well, because I just wanted to reference how sad they were, because you saw what happened when a real team met this 49ers team was a shell of themselves. They lost Kittle to an Achilles. He was the best offensive weapon. And the 49ers. Kenny, what was your thought?
Well, it's one of those where you go out when your mama say, go get a switch out there off that tree right there. And come here. And you go pick your own switch. You try to get the smallest switch that you can find, but she still found a way to pow. It was just a beating. And I knew it was going to be bad when I seen, because I called it. When Shaheed caught the ball and got full head of steam, I said, he's going to take that to the crib. It looked like it out the gate. I was like, oh, man. He took that, and I was like, oh, yeah. I said, it's going to be belt. I said, I pulled my belt off my pants. I said, here y'all go. Y'all use this. Because it was just bad. And it's what you're supposed to do to a team when they're 60%. When they're down, they have nobody. They got me, you, and Kyle at receiver. They got Freddie Fax at tight end. There's nobody. There's nobody out there. And then what's left of Christian McCaffrey, they just beat him up. They beat up Christian McCaffrey. It's like Christian was like, I'm just gonna stand over here. Y'all going to finish this game out. It was just real bad.
Christian was like, I got a beautiful wife. I got a beautiful family. I'm gonna hang out with them in the off season.
Right? I'm going to get ready for Cancun. But my thing was, I knew this was going to happen because I said, Seattle up there with that 12th man. People don't realize that stadium is just different. That stadium playing up there is, everybody talk about Arrowhead. I say Arrowhead is tough. Don't get me wrong. But that thing up there, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what it is. But I said that was the worst team that you can hope to get home field throughout the NFC. Then they're pulling it off. And Sam Darnold was like, hey, I ain't got to crash a Ferrari. I got a brand new Ferrari. I ain't even got to drive it. I can sit in the back seat. Kenneth Walker, you scored 3 touchdowns. I ain't got to do nothing. And Jigba, I'll throw you a little touchdown pass just to show, hey, I played. But he didn't have to do nothing. Now
that's it. That's all. But see, that's the thing. That's the thing. Is that Sam Darnold? We don't have to worry about Scooby-Doo Sam Darnold because he doesn't feel any fear. He has no worries. If I make a mistake, so be it. And I absolutely love that. He's gonna talk. He's gonna, it's Sam Darnold. Look, you know what Sam Darnold is? Sam Darnold could possibly be the modern day version of Eli Manning. Do enough and stay the heck out the way. You know the thing. Here's the thing that nobody talks about. This is the thing that Eli didn't do in those Super Bowls. He didn't turn it over. He didn't turn it over. In the biggest moments when they needed a play, he made it. He didn't turn it over. I remember there was one point he threw a pass in one of those Super Bowls to, I think it was Mario Manningham on the sideline. And it was an absolute dart. It was an absolute dart. That's all you got to do when you are riding the hot hand. And the hot hand for Eli was a running game in his defense. And you just ride the hot hand. All Sam Darnold's got to do is ride the hot hand. That's it. And you know what? Like I said, they look Super Bowl strong. They do, but all these games got to be played out on paper. Like I said, they got to be played out on paper. But I'm gonna tell you right now, they look Super Bowl strong. Here's the thing though, with the 49ers though. Like, when does it get to a point where we get sick of this team always being injured? There's got to be something said about that. The last 3-4 years, this team is constantly, their top players are from whether it was when they had Debo to Brandon Ayuk, Kerry Kittle, Trent Williams is always banged up, Fred Warner, Bosa's now down. Christian McCaffrey is, I'm surprised he played as much as he did this season. That was a miracle. That was a Christmas miracle.
CMC needs a vacation, man. They need to have him do something where he's just sitting and not doing a thing, because they even when he was in Carolina, he was the offense and he was the go-to. He was the workhorse. There's a lot of miles on those tires, man. And I think after the Bears game, from the rest of the end of the season, you saw the wear and tear really come, because that's when he started really getting hit, and you started seeing him holding his ribs and holding his back and coming in and out of plays more often. And I'm thinking it's time where it's like, dude, we need this to end, because I need a break.
Yeah, even Brock Purdy got hurt. Brock Purdy
well, and kudos to Mac Jones for keeping them in the mix.
This year.
Even Mac Jones got hurt.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It gets to a certain point where, like I say, Kyle Shanahan has taken in the 2 Super Bowls. So that's pretty much cemented his job for now. But eventually the expectation will be for him to win said Super Bowl. Now, I mean, I know that that's not coming anytime soon, because he's considered one of the top coaches in the NFL, great offensive mind, blah, 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 blah. But it does get to a certain point where somebody's going to have to say, what are you doing to your players that they can't stay healthy? How is it? It ain't luck, man, at a certain point. Like, I get it. Yeah, it's luck. But at a certain point, it ain't luck. I mean, like, when you're losing half, and I'm talking about more than half of your top players on the team year after year, that might just cost you your job in itself. And so it is going to have to get a certain point where that hard conversation is going to need to be had. if this continues again with Kyle Shanahan next year, it's got to stop being, oh man, he's doing a masterful job coaching this team as they're wounded coming. He's been doing that now for the last 5 years. At a certain point, you gotta have healthy players, dude, or either get backups that can win for you. Mm-hmm. You need to figure it out. Like, you know what? I know half my team going down, so let me make sure my second string unit is one of the best in the NFL.
Yeah, because who's the strength and conditioning coach? I want to talk to him because why is my
somebody?
I'm talking to him. Why is my players getting hurt every week? What's going on?
Something's got to get.
What y'all doing out there? Like, what's going on?
What's going on out there, man? For real. Once again, to all of our viewers out there, thank you for joining us on the live stream. This is Unfiltered Sports with Mac and Cal. We are joined with our guest, Kenny. Yes, sir. Kenny, where can they listen to you?
Well, you can listen to me Tuesdays and Thursdays on the Renegade Running Down. You catch me on YouTube. I'm gonna post it, like I said, I'm gonna post a link, on my videos and put it on Facebook. So you can follow me on there, Kenny Casanova. You can follow me on all social medias on there, and tune in on Tuesdays, Thursdays. I do my Renegade rundowns, man, for my team. Black and gold.
Yes, sir. No. We love it. And thank you, Young Buck, for joining us, man. You got a lot of potential out there. I want you guys to pay attention to Freddie. I want to pay attention not to Freddie, okay, because Freddie's nuts, but pay attention to Kenny Casanova. That's the one to pay attention to. Young boy's got talent, and I'm glad you could join us here as this is the second episode of Unfiltered Sports with Mac and Cal on Prime Cover Sports Network. And you know the thing about it, I can tell you right now, man, I absolutely love it. I love being able to sit here and talk sports, break it down, get real deep into this, because there's so many layers that just go into more than just a ball game. And that's what we try to help everyone see right here. There's a lot more that goes into the X's and the O's, but that's what you're going to see on TV. Unfiltered Sports gonna bring you here on YouTube live stream, baby. Well, we got a lot more to talk about. Kenny, we want you to continue to stick with us. We gotta be talking about the Bears and their loss to the Los Angeles Rams, but that was the last game. The game that happened before that, and we're gonna get into this, and we're gonna continue talking. We're gonna take a short break in a little bit coming up. But we're going to continue breaking this down because this Texans Patriots has got a lot to still dive into. We also got a coaching carousel that is now starting to take shape and take form, but it's fluid. It's fluid because, you do got to ask yourself, now that Sean McDermott got fired, did John Harbaugh jump the gun and take the wrong job? But we'll get into that. We'll get into that. The game that I want to talk about next is the Texans and the Patriots. And I don't know how to view this game. Because, guys, here's my problem. Well, here's my problem. I told you, Cal, I'm not a Mike Vrabel fan. I don't root for the guy. I do like Robert Kraft as an owner. I think that is a swaggy dude. If you've ever sit and listen to Robert Kraft talk, that guy got swag, bro. He is one of the coolest owners in the NFL. Old dude is straight chill. All right. I respect that guy. Salute to you, Mr. Kraft. But that being said, I did not think the Patriots were going to win. I didn't pick them to win, and I was actually very surprised at how poorly C.J. Stroud played to help assist the Patriots win, because Drake May, trust me, wasn't out there lighting it up either. That Texans defense was all over him, but for some reason, C.J. Stroud decided that either one, he isn't as good as people thought he is, or two, it was a playoff game, CJ. You got to break up your level of play. And let me tell you something. Let's stop making excuses for CJ now. He didn't play that good last year after he came off that stellar rookie year. He didn't play that good last year. He didn't play that good this year. And he definitely didn't play that good against the Patriots. And as much smoke as I threw towards Josh Allen, you best believe I'm going to throw just as much towards C.J. Stroud. He was supposed to be anointed, if you remember, after his rookie season. Oh, people said, I don't know, maybe the Bears made a mistake in drafting Caleb. Should have maybe drafted C.J. Stroud. He looked so good in his rookie season. Of course, no teams had tape on him, hadn't seen the guy play. And now, once they didn't figure him out, and they know all of the little nuances of C.J. Stroud. C.J. looking quite average out there. And he looked pathetic.
He looked way below average on that game.
I think average is mad at saying.
Now here's the caveat of this that it kind of makes me sick to my stomach that for some reason they want to compare. How is it that Mike Vrabel gets compared to Ben Johnson and Liam Cohen just because he took a new job? This guy is a seasoned veteran coach that has been in the playoffs. Has he not? Does he not have playoff experience? So while we sit here and talk about, oh, he took this Patriots team that had what they were picking low and they had a disastrous season, and oh my goodness, he deserves Coach of the Year for what he. This guy ain't a rookie coach. What Ben Johnson and Liam Cohen did, that's amazing. Mike Vrabel already knows how to run an organization. He already knows how to lead a locker room. He already knows how to talk at the podium because he's done it. What the heck are we talking about? Here's the crazy part about it. Mike Vrabel, I think, has got more coaching experience than the guy that was coaching for the Texans.
Oh, yeah.
He has way more experience than DeMeco Ryans, man.
Does he not? Does he not? So enough of us acting like the Patriots are being coached by some rookie neophyte coach that's just showing up on the scene and going, hey, guys, what's going on here? It's the same situation that's happening with the Broncos. They got an experienced winning coach that's leading them. That's exactly what is going on with the Patriots. The Patriots have a great talented quarterback. I ain't taking nothing away from Drake May. Screw that. That dude is the real deal. They got a great talented quarterback. They got a very good defense. And that's about it. And I guess what it comes down to is that people underestimated how great of a coach Mike Vrabel really is. And maybe it was the fact that he actually now got with a organization or franchise that truly supported him, that truly supports him. He has an offensive coordinator that knows what the heck he's doing. That guy sucks as a coach. Terrible. But let me tell you,
he's not going to be leaving for any head coaching jobs anytime soon.
If someone gave Josh McDaniels another coaching job, I would just say, dude, hire me. I swear to God, I would drive there. I would drive to I would pull up and I would say, whatever you paying him, give me half of it. Because I can lose just as much. I got to be out there holding the clipboard. I'd be out there holding the clipboard pretending to call plays like Z42. And then when they fired me, I'd go, thank you.
My money fully guaranteed. Just cut the check.
Thank you. I'd probably might even coach a game after I got the check. They'd be like, "Where's Coach McCallum? He's not on the sideline. He's not." That's what you might as well do if you hire Josh McDaniels, and give him another coaching job. The guy's an offensive coordinator. He's a great offensive coordinator. Let's leave him at that coordinate position. We're going to take a small, quick break. When we come back, stay with us. This is going to be quick. This is still Unfiltered Sports with Mac and Cal on Prime Coverage Sports Network with our guest, Kenny Casanova.
And we are back. What else we want to cover there, Mr. Marcus, today?
Yes, sir. We're back in action. What's going on? Are we back? So we left off talking about the Houston Texans and the Patriots game, and where the Patriots just really just owned the Texans. And like I said, you know, Mike Vrabel, I feel like he's got the coaching pedigree. He's got a pretty good team. But I'm very disappointed in CJ Stroud. And I'm going to tell you right now, Houston, we have a problem because his contract's coming up. They got to make a decision. Is this a Tua situation? You remember what the Dolphins did? The Dolphins felt like they had a gun to their head and they signed Tua. Big contract, big money. And look where they're at now. What do you do about CJ Stroud? Kenny, give me your thoughts.
Well, I say you pick up his 5th-year option and you roll with it and let's see where we at. Because, like I said, it's his 3rd year. So you're technically not forced to talk money yet. You can have preliminary conversations, but technically you pick up that 5th year. You got to prove it to me, son. I get that. They had a crazy stat that I found out. In all of his playoff games, they showed all of the 3 of his wins. The offense has put up as many points as the defense has. I'm like, we talk about CJ Stroud because he got 3 playoff wins. I said, well, his defense is just as much in the game as he is. Like last week against the Steelers, the defense scored more points than the Steelers by themselves. They didn't need CJ to do a thing. They said we got it, and he turned the ball over in that game all day. That he turned the ball over in that game. So it kind of was a prelude, like, okay, is he going to do it again or is he going to play better? But it's one of those where I had a feeling because I picked the Texans. I said their defense, I said, this is a different type of defense. I thought their defense was going to be able to hold strong and do what they do. But CJ Stroud said, I don't want y'all to win here. I don't want y'all to win here. You get a pick. You get a pick. You get a pick. He was out there like Oprah. Everybody was getting picks. And then even in the second half when they were making momentum, then the running back fumble in the red zone. I'm like, y'all not supposed to win this. I said New England is ordained to go to the Super Bowl. Because we all know whoever win that game was going to the Super Bowl. I just don't think Jarrett Stidham, the game's got to be played, like y'all said. I just don't think that Jarrett Stidham got what it takes to beat this New England team. But we'll talk about that later.
Well, here's the thing, though, that kind of is really like, and I'm in my head.
Mm-hmm.
If Houston had to pull this out some type of way, CJ Stroud would have found a way to blow it against it. He would have still found a way. Look, CJ Stroud would have just been like, here you go, take the ball. I don't want it. The Patriots clearly didn't want it. I tried to give it to them. So guess what? Here you go, Denver. I'm gonna give it to you. And I'm sorry. Like I said, I have not seen anything from this dude in the last 2 years that has proven to me that he is of an elite level. What I've seen is a guy that if you give him the right circumstances. Now, let's not. Houston's offensive line is trash. So let's not act like this guy has got the Dallas Cowboys offensive line from the 90s in front of him, okay? Like no, his line is trash. They do need to fix that. That needs to get addressed. But beyond that, here was the thing that I'm gonna tell you, Kenny, that I came to a harsh reality of it very quickly. When Justin Fields was with the Chicago Bears, and we're Chicago, me and Cal, we're big time Bears guys, right? And I really wanted to see Justin Fields, but the thing was that it wasn't happening. And then a lot of it was like, well, his offensive line isn't good. His offensive line is good. But you know what somebody said? A pundit said, and a very, very smart pundit. And it was, he said, it can't be both. It can't be bad quarterback play and offensive line. It's one or the other. Either his offensive line is playing bad, or either it's the quarterback that's playing bad, but it's not both. Because what he meant was just because your offensive line is bad does not make you a bad quarterback. You're still going to be a good quarterback, even if you got a bad offensive line. We've seen that with Patrick Mahomes this year. The offensive line was bad. Patrick Mahomes was still playing at an elite level or elite enough until he got hurt. He was still keeping his team, like you were still afraid of that dude. Like this guy's going to make plays against us. Now, him getting sacked, the pressure is going to cut down on those said plays, but he's going to make plays. So you can't have it both ways. Yes, the offensive line is bad, but that should mean that CJ Stroud should still be playing at a good enough level. And the level that we've seen CJ Stroud play at in the last couple years has been below average. That's a red flag, man. Because now all we're doing is leaning on the laurels of a rookie season at this point. Cal, give me your thoughts.
Well, you brought up, Justin Fields and CJ Stroud. And there's two things they have in common, or one thing they have in common. They're Ohio State quarterbacks. I don't ever trust an Ohio State quarterback coming into the NFL draft. When you have one of the top offensive lines in the nation, it's the stud wide receivers in that running back room, all three of us can be quarterbacks at Ohio State and win.
I think I was at one point.
No, I'm joking. I don't
I
trust him. And in this game, looking at CJ Stroud, he looked like a deer in headlights. He looked confused. He looked lost. And he threw 4 picks, giving the ball back to New England. And Drake May was doing the same thing. Drake May gave up the ball.
But the flip side of it, this was Drake May's. This is Drake May's first playoff taste. He should make mistakes.
But you have to talk about both of them making mistakes.
Yep.
And it just so happened to be that the ones that CJ Stroud did cost them more. I didn't see anything from Drake May in that game to be like, this guy's MVP. I didn't see it.
No, he's young.
If you give up the ball that much, that's a problem. CJ Stroud, he has a couple years under his belt. He did the same exact thing. Those two guys didn't look right. And, I'll even give CJ a little bit. He didn't have Nico Collins on the field. He didn't have his tight end on the field. but he's still, there's times where he was throwing the ball. I'm like, dude, run and get that 6 yards, run and get that, run and get this. But I never trust a quarterback coming out of Ohio State. When the Bears drafted Justin Fields, I said it right away. I'm like, this ain't the dude. This ain't the dude. You have to go from another kind of pedigree that has other aspects, not just elite players all around him. And you look like a stud because you could just throw it 60 yards in the air and somebody's going to come down with it. And I think that's starting to prove a point on the Ohio State quarterbacking with C.J. Stroud. Everybody's like, oh, once Justin leaves the Bears, it'll be different. What did Justin do in New York? It was even worse.
Well, here's the sad part about it. It's not to say that these guys can't play quarterback. What it is that they have to have everything around them to be a good quarterback, whereas that an elite quarterback only needs a little bit around him. Like I said, Josh Allen, he's still an elite quarterback. He's just not tier 1, which everyone started to put him on. Is the same as Patrick Mahomes. People even saying that he's better than Patrick Mahomes at this point. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Let's not get crazy here. And that's the thing about it, is that what makes you tier 1, and we're going to talk about this with the next matchup, but what makes you tier 1 is what you do when the game is on the line, what you do in the most critical moments. That's why Tom Brady was tier 1. Okay, that's why Peyton Manning, he may have had his struggles, but guess what? There was also plenty of games and critical moments he came through that made him tier 1. All right, the championships match that. When you get multiple rings as a quarterback, you're a tier 1 quarterback. Joe Montana in his heyday was tier 1. All right. That's how this works. You have to get multiple rings to start even being considered in that tier 1 category. Because as we've seen, you could be a tier 4 quarterback and get a ring, Eli Manning, and then some kind of way end up getting a second one. But you know what I'm saying? The elite, the best of the best, they come through in the biggest moments to help elevate their team to win the biggest games. And, right now, that's not happening. And you have to be honest with yourself as an organization when that's not happening. And that's what's going on in Houston. And like I said, they got to deal with this. They got to deal with this big time because money is getting ready to come up, and then it's going to start talking to big money. And like Kenny said, if I'm okay, you give the 50 option, and then after that, I'm franchising. I think you, if he struggles again next year, you keep him. I'm not gonna say struggle because he still puts up decent. If he doesn't hit that next tier, then you franchise him. Because look at what happened with Kyler Murray. I already said Tua. These guys were given big bucks, and they in the hopes that they would become at least tier 2 quarterbacks. And these guys are tier 4 at best.
That's at best, yeah.
At best. Look at the Packers. The Packers were forced to give Jordan Love big money. Jordan Love's paid like a tier 2 quarterback, but Jordan Love might be tier 4, clinging on the tier 3. I mean, by a rung, his feet are dangling at the tier 3. Okay.
Yeah. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, boy.
Well,
that's Jordan Love to me.
Well, but that's just the thing, because here's what I'm gonna show everybody, because I don't want people thinking I'm a Packer. Hey, here's the difference. Dak Prescott is clearly tier 3, sometimes pushing tier 2. And if the Packers had the choice between Jordan Love or Dak Prescott, you're gonna tell me you would pick Jordan Love?
Mm.
I wouldn't.
Nah.
So that's my point when I say that dude is hanging on to that tier 3 rung, like with his feet dangling. Oh, okay. That's what's going on there. So you don't want to be in that situation, and that's where Houston is headed. Houston is headed there, and they're gonna have to make a real decision because see the thing is that they have a Super Bowl caliber defense. They need a running game. They need their wide receivers to get healthy, and they need their quarterback to elevate himself to where he's elite. If he elevates to tier 2, watch out.
Yeah.
Watch out.
I agree with that for sure.
Yeah, it's
pointing to CJ, man. I said, man, if you don't crash the car like we asked Sam Darnold not to do, you got a defense over there that'll give you whatever you want, whatever you need, however you need.
Just don't crash the car.
Don't crash the car, man. Ooh, he hit a light pole, flipped off an embankment 6 times, rolled down into a river. It was just bad.
You know what? And Drake May did the same thing, but he was able to drive out.
Yeah, he was able to
pull up.
They were driving side by side and kept on rolling. And he's like, "Did your car get out?" He goes, "No, but I can." And he drove away.
He drove away.
You just get a pick 6. When your defense get a pick 6 to help you out, and when you come back on the field, you got the lead. Now all you got to do is don't crash the car. And he kept crashing too. But Stephon Diggs said, "I'm gonna snag this ball for you. Don't let it touch the ground at all." I don't know how he did that. That catch by Diggs, I was like, "Oh my gosh!" You talk about hands. And then Keyshawn on the other one on Stingley with the one hand, man, I was like, "Oh man!" I said, "Yeah, they gonna win." When I seen, I said, "Yeah."
Mm-hmm. They pulled out a great victory. Considering that both quarterbacks didn't seem like they wanted it. And, they move on and, hats off to the Patriots. And like I said, we're going to preview Patriots and Broncos in a little bit. But before we do that, we got to talk about the last game that was played. The game that hits me and Kyle in the heart. And that was the Rams and Bears as the Rams advanced over the Chicago Bears 20-17. And what was typical Chicago Bear fashion, which has been all season, is that the game is going to go down to the end. It was surprising that the Rams, even though they were given multiple opportunities to pull away, they just couldn't. And I believe weather played a factor for both sides, for both offenses. I think if this was played in LA, we would have saw a lot more points on the board from both teams. I think that the weather was affecting the receivers.
Or even just in a dome, too.
Yeah, just in a dome. I think the weather was affecting the receivers. I think the weather was affecting Stafford as a quarterback. I don't think the weather was affecting Caleb as a quarterback, but it was definitely affecting his receivers with multiple drops. And let's just be honest, both defenses showed up. Shout out, well, we know the Rams defense was already legit, but after what had happened in Carolina, you were kind of wondering. Carolina had pop 30 on them. And you were like, whoa, maybe this defense ain't what everybody thought it was. And you know what? They pulled themselves together. They realized that if they came with that same fake funk against the Bears, it was going to be over, and they played with their hair on fire. And you know what? So did the Bears defense. Shout out, because I thought this game was going to be in the 30s or 40s from both sides with their offense. But you know what? The defenses on both teams said, we come to play in this cold weather. Let's go. And they did. I mean, the wood was being stuck out there. I mean, on both sides. You heard pads being slapped and guys being tossed around. So it was thrilling from that standpoint, but too many wasted possessions by the Bears going for it constantly on fourth down. And there was too many times where the Bears had opportunities to put points up on the Rams' head, and they chose to go for it, and the Rams shut them down. It was almost as if Ben Johnson had missed the memo that the Rams defense was good. Like, it really was. It was almost like somebody had said, hey, you know what? You're playing the Atlanta Falcons defense, buddy. Go ahead. Go for it. He forgot that he was playing one of the top 10 defenses in the NFL and had been one of the top 10 all seasons. The Rams defense had been lauded going back to last year. And all of a sudden now, you think that you could constantly go for it on fourth down against these guys and they're not going to stop you? Oh, I guess, or you thought that your quarterback who's having his first run through the playoffs was just going to find a way to navigate through this incredible defense and shock this team somehow. And instead, no, this team shows exactly what they were when they picked them off in the first series when you went for it. That should have been an indication right there that we need to play this a little bit more conservative. I don't mind being aggressive. I absolutely love it. But do it at the right points. You go for it on fourth down like a riverboat gambler on a drunk bender, but then when we get the game and you got the chance to go for two, now you go for one. Now we care. Now we care about getting the point, but we care nothing about the points before that, Cal. We could have had field goals and hey, the hell with them points. We don't need them. But now the 1 point to tie the game or two to take the lead. Hey, let's take the 1 point. Let's be conservative. That's my only issue. That was coaching. Now let's get to Caleb. He did exactly what I thought he was going to do. And be a young QB trying to do a little bit too much. That play to Luther Burden, look that over. Why? You're in field goal range. Why take that chance? You're in field goal range. Now, I granted it's fourth down. So, of course, at that point, what can you do? You're fourth down. So the coach did put you in that circumstance. But you cannot. Turnovers are momentum to the other team. Even if you throw the ball away and it's a turnover on downs, it's less significant than the team saying, I got the pick from you. I shut you down by stripping the ball away. It does not give you momentum. Then what does the Rams do? They come down with that momentum and they score. Now they've got the lead. Now you're playing from behind. This was the Bears' MO all night, unfortunately. You're playing from behind. And when you play from behind, now you have to make choice decisions. And you have to think about things when they could have been playing from a position of power. And they chose. That's on Ben, man. That's on Ben. And being a rookie head coach, and you know what? I will live with this if that's who you are. But sometimes you're going to have to really take a hard look in the mirror and say, maybe, just maybe, I don't need to be that way for this series. Because in that moment, I felt like you're going against a superior team like you put 3 points on the board right away just to let them know what's real. Like, yep, we just put 3 on your head. Now what? Now you got to come and answer us back. Instead, you threw an interception, and now they come down and score. And now they got the position of power. A team that's got strength over you. So now we get to the fourth quarter after Caleb throw. What was that throw, Cal? That throw he threw the Colcom out. Was he even looking? I swear to God, he threw it blindly.
2 seconds. He took 2 seconds.
He threw it blindly. He threw it blindly. I swear to God, he did. And
it was a Hail Mary. Oh, we planned it to be that way the whole time. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
But the thing about it was where the ball was placed. See, it's one thing if he throws that ball like he did against Green Bay when they lost, and he underthrew it. And I know that cut at him so bad because he knew, just like we knew, he could make that throw. And it happens in pressure moments. It happens sometimes. Michael Jordan didn't hit every game-winning shot, people. Sorry, I hate to break your hearts. There was some shots he missed, okay? But the fact that Caleb had even the guts to make that throw, and where he placed that ball was the only place that Cole could catch it. No one else could catch that ball but Cole Kmet. Even if that defender had grabbed Cole, and it was not a push off, which I love when we saw in the replay. It was
they were both fighting for it.
They were both fighting,
so they were going to call
it.
If
you notice, Cole did not push forward. He slapped his hands down.
Yeah.
He actually slapped his hands down and then went for that's not a push off. Sorry. Yeah. And it was the only person that could catch that football was Cole Kmet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you get perfect placement on it. Would look like some fadeaway jump shot throw. Kenny, was that even? What did we see?
That was Steph Curry. I'm pulling from the parking lot when I get.
Well, actually, here I want to ask Kenny a question because we kind of have a little bit of bias here. Like, what was your reaction when you saw that?
You talking about the throw by Caleb or the game?
Yeah, the throw by Caleb.
I just had flashbacks of last week. I had a flashback of last week when that was a fadeaway. I mean, he thought there's no like where how there's no like, and it's easy for him. It's not. It wasn't like no. It wasn't like a tennis player making all that noise. He just said here.
He just flicked his wrist,
and then it just landed perfectly. I said, "What is wrong with this kid?"
Bro, when he threw it, I thought he threw it away.
Yeah,
I swear to goodness, when he rolled back, the defenders are chasing him, and then he fades back and throws the ball. I said, oh, okay, this is it. I said, game over. And all of a sudden, I see Cole Kmet going back. I text Cal and I go, hey, I can't repeat the exact word, but it was wholly 4 words after that.
We texted each other at the same time.
Yeah.
As soon as you did it, I did it.
Yeah, I just couldn't believe it. But still, the outcome was what the outcome was, and that was Caleb Williams throwing an interception in overtime that would lead to the Rams driving down the field and getting the game-winning field goal. I have a lot of problems with how to end it, Kenny, because I do believe the Bears could have and should have won when you have the opportunity to kick the field goal. I didn't like the aggressive play calling because I felt like we could have grinded more to get the ball, in field goal position. Could have been shorter pass routes, could have been a screen call. I mean, like you didn't need to be that deep of a route. Secondly, I definitely have a problem with the route that DJ Moore ran. Even on the replay before everybody pointed it, I saw it. I'm looking at it and I'm like, DJ didn't look like he ran that. It looked wonky. And I don't break down film, but when I was looking at it, it looked wonky. And I'm like, why does it look like DJ Moore is not like they weren't on the same page? I immediately said that. I said, it don't look like DJ and Caleb's on the same page on that play.
I was looking at it. I was looking at it, and I didn't see. It didn't look like to me, as far as what was going on, that DJ was the number one read on that play.
Mm-hmm.
I think when DJ was coming across the middle, he was taking that safety so that Burden can do an out route, and I think that's what he was planning on doing. Because if you see when he starts to slow down, that safety's coming up. So he's like, okay, I'm doing my job. This is going to Burden. And then when he turned around and he goes, oh, shit, that ball's coming to me.
But the defender was the one.
Yeah.
And it wasn't him.
And that's what I looked at it. A lot of people are like, oh, he quit on the play. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. I'm thinking he was coming across and he's looking at that safety. He goes, all right, that safety's coming to me. This ball better not be thrown to me. It should be thrown to Luther. And then he just happened to turn around. And if you saw it, when he turned around, he actually was like, whoa, wait a minute. And that was the end of the game.
I don't think he expected to be open. I don't think he expected to be open. at the degree that he was open at. See, the sad part is the degree that he was open at from where he thought the play, like you said, was going and his route. Caleb just so happened to see, oh, there's a crease. But DJ didn't see that crease. And DJ was thinking, like you said, Cal, this I'm looking to block, I'm looking to set up on his play, and he cut off the right. He did something that a lot of players do that you just don't see on film when they know the ball isn't coming their way. I've caught it a couple times. If you watch, even on defense, if a defender sees that the ball's on the other side of the field, he won't necessarily, he'll let his teammates go and make the play. He will not try to give full sprint to go run into that pile when he sees the play is on the other side of the field. So DJ didn't quit on the play. You're 100% correct today. The guy's a professional, man. He's a warrior. The guy plays hurt. There's at the end of the game, why would he? He wants to win. Why would he?
Yeah,
why would he
with
quit?
the position of where the game was at, you really think he's going to take that play off?
Right.
The only thing I can think of is maybe he had a headache because of being in a concussion protocol earlier.
He was playing. He was battered. He was beat up, and so his thought process was, I'm pretty sure this play is going to him. Let me just decoy it out and set up the block.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that he was open. Was open for, and so when you're throwing the football, that's what people got to understand. You don't throw the football where the receiver is at. You throw the football where you want the receiver to be. That's how it works. Because if you throw the football, what that means, he's got to stand still. Like that's called a hook route, where he runs out and he turns around and he stands still. Throw me the football. That's when you put the ball right in his chest. Any other time, post, in, out, a corner, the ball is thrown to the spot. The receiver's job is to go get it.
Mm-hmm.
If the quarterback throws it in perfect placement, then the receiver should have no problem getting said football. Caleb threw the ball to the spot. DJ didn't run the route out because he didn't think the ball was coming to him. And now the defender's there in where you are supposed to be. And it's a bad look. And Kenny, from your perspective, how you saw, obviously you are a Rams fan. That's why we say, you get that other side. But as you saw that play, did you just think it was a defender making a great play, or did you see a little something that seemed weird in the way DJ was running that route?
The way DJ was running the route, I actually agree with Kyle when he kind of gave me a different perspective now. He probably was running a clear out route to try to make it open for Luther Burden, because I did see Burden over there. And so he's probably not thinking, oh, no, there's no way Caleb's going to throw this ball. But from Caleb's perspective, it's like, hey, yo, there's a crease right there. I'm going to lead you to the sideline so you catch that ball. We in field goal range. Let's kick it and go home.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's thinking. But I think DJ Moore is like, all right, I'm not even the first option on this play. I'm going to run this clear out. And then, oh, okay, he's throwing it to Luther. Nah, it's a crease like right in front of you.
Yeah, I want you guys to go back and watch that play, but don't go through the whole play. When you see DJ Moore go into the left hash mark, pause it, because then you'll see the safety. There's a triangle of defenders around Burden. And as soon as DJ Moore starts going, safety comes up, and it's leaving the sideline open for Burden behind the defenders. I think that's what DJ's role was in that play.
Yeah.
Get that safety to come up to open up the back end for Luther. It just so happened that Caleb saw something different and was going to DJ. So that's where, when I looked at it, I really saw that part. I'm like, okay, that was what he was thinking was going to happen, because he saw the safety come up. As soon as he saw the safety come up, he was like, okay, this ain't coming to me. I'll just keep doing what I need to do to keep bringing him up. And then when he turned around, he happened to see the ball get intercepted. That was, and I watched that probably about 10 times today. But there was plenty of other plays in that game that made it for the Bears to lose. I think Ben Johnson not kicking those field goals.
Yeah,
you have a kicker who you questioned, Marcus, all season. You questioned all season, but guess what? He's been the last 4
Clutch.
or 5 games in the playoffs.
Clutch.
10 for 10.
Clutch.
10 for 10. How do you not take those 3 points? Because you would have been up 19-17 in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And you wouldn't have had to worry about it because now you had Dennis Allen for some reason. The game against the Packers in this game, he finally decided to break away from zone defense all the time and finally start doing press coverage. And that
No.
The last 2 games in particular.
No, you're right, but you're forgetting something. There's a reason he changed that. Kyler Gordon.
Well, yeah, but I want and that's part of where I'm going. You start getting this press coverage on the receivers, so then what happens? Now you start getting pressure, and now you start having all these things finally come around to where this was a game that the defense was basically gift wrapping to the offense. Just go score us points, man. Go score us points. This team who's supposed to steamroll us, we're keeping them in. They're not getting away from us. Puka forgot how to catch for most of the game. Devontae Adams had 1 catch, and it happened to be a crucial one.
Big catch too. I still don't know how he got.
Let's remember one thing though. The Bears secondary was one of their best strengths going into the season, and they finally had in this game. They finally had everybody healthy at secondary. Mm-hmm. Tyreek Stevenson was a monster. Kyler Gordon was a monster. Jaquan Brisker was a monster. Jalen Johnson was shutting people down. That secondary was doing the job that we have expected them to do all year because they were finally healthy.
I was shocked with how many plays Jaquan Brisker and Kevin Byard were making behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
All over the field.
It was something where I'm like, this is what it needed to be all season long, but they were so banged up that they were playing zone, and that's when you got guys like Nashawn Wright who just are getting beat left and right, and then when you're finally able to play press coverage, look at what happens. These receivers aren't getting that 8-9 yards off the ball like all the other times, and you're finally having somebody in your face right at the line of scrimmage. It completely changes the flow of the game.
That's
completely.
Points in that situation.
Yeah.
That the weather condition tells you, take the points. There's it's not going to be a track meet type of game. Take the points because later on they may come back and bite you, and that's exactly what happened.
We texted each other the whole game. I'm like, this should be 3. This should be 3 here, and this should be 3 here.
And you know what? We can't absolve. Look, if I can get on DJ Moore, man, Roma Doomsday played like trash.
What is wrong?
Rome clearly is still dealing with that stress fracture in his foot. Clearly, because Rome played like he missed a key block when Swift was trying to get into the end zone when they were down at the goal line, and Swift hurdled the play and they got tackled. Roma Doomsday missed that block. Mm-hmm. If Roma Doomsday makes that block, Swift goes into the end zone. Roma Doomsday drops a clear touchdown on the opening drive. We wouldn't even been talking about should the Bears go for 3 or not. Roma Doomsday just catches the foot. And this is a simple. Caleb put it right in his hands.
And you know what? But that's been a constant all year. How many drops the Bears tight ends and wide receivers have had this year? Colston Loveland forgot how to catch for most of that game yesterday too.
Oh my God! Yeah, he's the best weapon, and he couldn't. He drop. I'm like, what's going on here, man? I mean, the weather affected, like I said, both teams on offensively, big time.
Well, you know what? I do have to give shout outs to 2 guys though. Joe Tooney going to tackle, and Jordan McFadden coming in and doing what he did on with no playing time. I think that really was a huge decision that really paid off because, dude, McFadden was making some nasty blocks, and I was not expecting that.
McFadden was a real deal. So was Tooney. But, man, what about my man Darnell Wright? And they kept running to his right side, and I can't blame him because Darnell was putting people out the club. Darnell Wright was like, look, you want some too? You want some? Get some.
Get out.
I'm not a fan of Chris Collinsworth, but there was something that he said in that game. He goes, "There's a billboard up right now that says, 'Hey, LA, I just want you to know we're running to Darnell Wright. So just that's where you should go.'" And then they couldn't stop him for a few plays in a row.
Man, look, Darnell is a monster. They have unlocked him, and like I said, I'm very pleased. And obviously, we'll break down Chicago Bears. When we talk on the Truth About Chicago Sports on Saturday about where they're going to go, what's going to be next for them, and all these things. But I'm going to tell you right now, with this coaching carousel that's going on, it is so nice that I don't have to talk about the Bears franchise involved in any of this mess. They've got their quarterback, they've got their coach, and you know what? I'm okay with them losing to the Rams, because I'm going to tell you like this. I feel like the Rams are the better opponent for the Seattle Seahawks. I told Cal a couple weeks back, I said the Bears aren't winning the Super Bowl. And I said this is the truth. And I'm always give you the truth. And I said the Bears aren't winning the Super Bowl. And if they would have went up there and played Seattle would have mollywopped them. Would have mollywopped. I'm just calling it what it is. Seattle would have mollywopped them. I think that the Stafford, that defense, McVay, they're more equipped to go up there and put on a better show. In Seattle, it's going to be a much better game. I am predicting that Seattle still wins because, like you said, something about that 12th man up there. I know you're a Rams fan. But it's something about that 12th man.
He's a Steelers fan, man. He's
right. He's a Steelers fan. No, it's Freddie. Freddie's the Rams. Yeah, Freddie's the Rams fan. Well, I'm gonna tell you what. If Scooby-Doo Sam Darnold shows up that likes to see ghosts, then the Rams will win. But as long as Scooby-Doo stays in the closet and we get the real Sam Darnold, the Seahawks should take, but it won't be easy. I'm gonna tell you right now, Stafford is the real deal. He comes to play. This Rams team is real. Sean McVay is one of the best coaches in the NFL. This is going to be the best game of the playoffs so far, I believe. Well, at least in the two championship games, because as we know, and we referenced it earlier, the Denver Broncos are going to be without their starting quarterback, Bo Nix, who fractured a bone in his ankle on the second to last play with the Broncos victory. And that just takes a lot of air out of the city, because I really think that this would have been a tremendously great matchup. Two fantastic coaches, two young up-and-coming quarterbacks, who I believe were drafted in the same class, right?
Yeah.
Bo Nix and Drake, they were drafted in the same class.
Yeah. You had Caleb first, Jaden McDaniels, Drake May, and then Bo Nix was the fourth one taken. Oh no! Wait.
No. JJ, then Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Penix was at 8.
And Penix too. Yeah.
Yes. JJ Penix and then Bo Nix. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, wow. This would have been an exciting. I really would have looked forward to this. I'm gonna tell you what though. I'm not gonna count the Broncos out, because one, Sean Payton is a genius coach. He knows how to scheme. He's got the defense. Remember, defense is what wins championships, and he's gonna be at home. And he's playing against a guy that's a second-year quarterback that's in his first playoff run. So the Broncos could easily win this. Still, where it'll get murky is when they get in the Super Bowl, when they don't have home field advantage anymore. Remember, Mile High is an advantage in itself. Going up in that high altitude is an advantage in itself. Okay, so I'm not giving nothing to the Patriots at all. I'm not. I still am picking the Broncos to win. I'm picking the Broncos to win, and I'm also picking the Seahawks to win. Those are my picks.
Yep, it's the same two I'm picking, man. I think those two, when you look at all the defenses combined, those are the top two defenses that are left. And I feel like those are the two offenses that can do just enough. I think Jared Stedman's going to, channel those Auburn days and just be like, all right, I just need to do a little bit. RJ Harvey has to come play and do his role. And, hopefully, he can get a Cortland Sutton here and there. But it's those defenses win championships. And if it comes down to the kicking game, they got the kicker in Denver to do it too.
Well, the good part is too about Denver. They did open the window up for J.K. Dobbins to come back. If he comes back, I might actually. That's where I wish I knew if he was coming back. Because if I did, I would pick Denver because that's what they're missing. If they had that run game like they did in the beginning of the year when J.K. was there, I would pick Denver, no doubt, still even because of the defense and the run game. That's what I would do. I want to say Seattle is my pick on the other side. That's what I'm taking. I'm gonna be the oddball. I'm gonna pick New England. I think New England finds a way to do just enough to eke out this game. I think it's going to be a close game because I think the defense is going to come into play. But I think it's a lot to ask your backup quarterback who ain't no way he thought he was going to play.
No.
There's no way he could play.
No.
And to be forced into action in your first game, you don't even have a warm-up. You in the AFC Championship game? That's tough. That's a tall task,
man. That's a tough one. That's a tall task.
Man, I'm gonna take New England. I say 23-20. I say it's gonna be close.
Who you taking in the NFC?
I got Seattle. I think the Rams is good, but I ain't gonna lie to you. I think Seattle may boat race them this time. I think it may be a boat race this time. I think they may take them out back real quick, put that pressure on Stafford.
Hey, you ain't got to explain nothing to us. I knew that the Bears are probably going to lose to the Rams, and I still picked the Bears to win because that's my team, and that's how I roll.
But I got to say, everybody thought it was going to be way worse than what it was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But the Bears should have won that game, man. We got to be honest. They left points on the board, man. It's one of those things. It's the Dan Campbell when they played San Francisco a couple years ago in the NFC Championship game. Take your points, man.
Yep.
You winning the game. Take your points. And what happens? San Francisco coming back
in the
game. And who was on Dan Campbell's staff back then? Ben Johnson.
Ben.
Can't be overly aggressive. Be controlled aggression. I love controlled aggression. When you go down on your first red zone, kick a field goal.
Controlled aggression.
Yeah.
And I think, like I said, that's the new coaching. It's the new coaching mantra, and I get it. It's the new NFL, and I'm here for it. Except, man, make it make sense.
Yes.
And I think that for all the coaching positions that are still out there, I think there's 6 out there right now. No, actually, because the Bills just fired someone. It was 8 originally, and then the Bills now, so that made it 9, and 2 jobs seem like they're going to be filled now. With Stefanski taking the job and Harbaugh.
And then Hafley just signed with the Dolphins.
And Hadley just signed with the Dolphins.
Yeah.
So now let me with those 3 jobs. So that what we've got. Dolphins job is filled. Stefanski went to the Falcons, and we got the Giants job is filled.
Mm-hmm.
Of the jobs out that is left, what's the most intriguing and who is the most intriguing coach? And yes, you can use Tomlin if you want to, even though the speculation is that he's sitting at home this year.
So the most intriguing job, I would say, I'm gonna say Buffalo. Say Buffalo because of the quarterback. And
if someone can unlock him, just like what we talked about with Cal, when we talked about Cal Shanahan's father, when Mr. Shanahan came and unlocked John Elway and they won back-to-back Super Bowls. They need someone that can unlock Josh Allen.
And I'm gonna tell you the perfect candidate to do that. And it's the guy that you just mentioned. If he were to think about coming back, give him Josh Allen, that's a Super Bowl. I'll bank.
If I'm the Buffalo Bills, I think of two people on. There's actually in our chat group that I sent a shout out to Dalton Cooper because he brought up Bill Belichick, and people were like, huh? but I'm like, wait a minute. The last time Bill was paired with a great quarterback, he went on a dynastic run. The reason why his run stopped was when Tom Brady separated from him. If you give him a top level quarterback that he could unlock and take Josh Allen to tier 1, wow. With his prowess at defense, with the fact that he coached in the AFC East for all those years anyway, I would like that. Now, I don't think Tomlin is going to coach this year, but if you could convince Mike, you're talking about like what he had with Ben Roethlisberger, and that produced the championship. If you give Tomlinson that strong arm, big body quarterback, he knows what to do with that. He knows what to do with that big time. Jack talk time. Jack talk time big time. Okay, you best believe he knows what to do with that. All right, but getting him to like you got, because you got to understand. Look at the stability he came from. You would have to promise him 10 years. You would have to promise Mike 10 years to get him to say, you know what, I'm gonna leave my family and I'm gonna get back in this.
It's gonna take about 20 M's too. So bring that paper with it. It'll take about 20 M's.
Hey, millions.
Yeah,
millions.
It's gonna take about 20 million to pull Mike out of retirement.
It's gonna take millions.
I see how comfortable he looked at his daughter's gymnastic game. I said, he cool.
Oh no! Hey! We all look comfortable until a $25 million check comes in your face.
Hold up. I'm gonna have to go.
Baby, I love you. I love you, baby. But I'm just saying. Now, what I would love, and I know it would never happen because I know he's a Steeler through and through. Man, I would love if they could convince him to co-coach Lamar. I know he wouldn't go to the Baltimore Ravens because remember he's still on a contract. Like you have to trade, you have to give up assets to get him. And I know he would never go to the Ravens. The Steelers would never do. The Steelers would never allow that. They would never trade him. But man, if you talk about somebody, Lamar Jackson, that Lamar Jackson needs in his life. If there's one coach that Lamar Jackson needs in his life, it's Mike Tomlin. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, Lamar Jackson is immature. A lot of people, put this blame on Harbaugh, but I saw things. I saw things on X. I saw things behind closed. I'm not trying to expose nobody, but let me tell you something. There was extracurricular activity going on with Lamar Jackson that had me questioning his dedication to his craft. And he needs someone who's
a lot of things on Saturday nights.
Cal, you know what I'm talking about? Why is he eating from the food truck at midnight? You got the munchies, bro? I'm just saying. So all I'm saying is this. He needs someone that he respects, that is going to demand respect from him, and is going to make him play at his best. Some kind of a way, him and Hart, that it got lost some kind of a way. Yeah. I don't know when it happened, but it happened. And maybe it was when Ozzie Newsome retired. I don't know. But some kind of a way, Harbaugh and Lamar got off on the wrong, and you could tell it was annoying John, and he was trying to get on Lamar about it, and it wasn't working, and it backfired. Where the organization sided with Lamar over him. And if they want to get the best of Lamar Jackson, you got to get someone who's going to come in there and demand it all. And the only guy that I see on the market right now that's got the pedigree to come in and demand that from Lamar Jackson, at least in my eyes, like I said, there may be someone's out there that we don't know about, but in my eyes, that's Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, because it's tough. Because I was even going to suggest Sean McDermott, but I'm like,
no. I do.
You think it's not a sideways move, kind of? Like,
I think a different voice would help Lamar, and knowing that Sean McDermott has had success with high level quarterback play, with a high caliber quarterback, I think that he could demand that respect from Lamar.
Yeah.
Oh, what about this? If you bring in this guy, of course he has to bring in a good offensive staff. But Brian Flores.
Oh, Brian Flores.
Yes. You know what? Because you know what? I have to agree with that. You want him in Pittsburgh?
I love him in Pittsburgh. I love. Now you talk about, because I was waiting for that. I was like, "Where's my opportunity to plug us in there?" Brian Flores.
I would love him in Pittsburgh. I would love him in Pittsburgh because he's going to get the runway to get it right. The thing that I can't stand though is that this would be Brian Flores' second bite at the apple, and there's no quarterback there. That's not fair to him. That's not fair to him. And you don't have a top draft pick. Pittsburgh does not have a top draft pick, and you're coming in there with the old bloated defense. So that means you're going to need at least 3 years before you even got the team corrected, because you got to fail before you could get better. You got to find a way to start getting to the top of the draft instead of picking from the middle and the bottom of the draft. That's the only way the Steelers are going to get better.
Yeah, I said it. I said we need a 4-13 season, 5-12, because we need to be bad so that we can get some of these good players. Because the quarterback that I actually want, though, we ain't gonna have to go get him in the draft. I want Malik Willis as the Steelers starting quarterback next year. You go get
a bad move.
You go get a coordinator, because I ain't gonna lie, McDaniels is still out there. The old coach for the Dolphins. You bring him in there, that's still the same scheme. You put Malik Willis in there. You get Brian Flores to be the head coach. You go get you a DC. You don't really need him because Brian Flores is going to get that defense right. You gut all the old stuff, and we may even need to talk to TJ Watt about some of that contract money, or we may even have to. I don't even want to say it because Steelers fans might kill me if I say it, but may need to get on the phone about TJ Watt, because he said He said in his contract, I don't want to play for nobody but Mike Tomlin. So he
What did you say? You said you gotta get bad before you can get good, and the way that you get bad is by letting go of some of that high salary that's not gonna do you any good because you're trying to strip it down to the studs. So no, Kitty, I can't thank you enough, brother. I cannot thank you enough for joining us. This has been absolutely awesome. People, please make sure you check out. Can you plug yourself real quick before you go?
Hey, listen, Tuesdays and Thursdays, the Renegade Rundown podcast. It is here on YouTube. I post it on Facebook. You can follow me on Facebook at Kenny Casanova. Follow me on Prime Coverage Sports Network. We are locked in. I'm ready. I'm excited. I want to thank these guys for allowing me to come on their platform and chop it up about sports, man. I love it. So thank you guys.
Sure thing.
It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. Next week, we're going to have Robert Little joining us on the show. Accredited journalist, sports journalist Robert Little is going to chop it up with me and Cal on Mac and Cal Unfiltered Sports on Prime Cover Sports Network. Fellas, this has been another great show. We bring it to you guys live every Monday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central Time. Okay, y'all gonna keep messing with us, and we gonna mess around and have this show in Spanish. All right, don't keep playing with us because we are doing it. Cal, next week we got no Bears, but we still got a ton of sports, brother. We got a ton of sports, so make sure everyone out there hollering at your boys. We're just trying to do it for the people out there that love sports. Man, I just want to thank everyone, all of our viewers out there. We got to thank the man himself that put it all together, Brother Freddie Henderson, who is a Rams fan. You forget, I guess. But until next week, make sure you follow all of our shows on Unfiltered Sports. Like we said, we got Kenny Casanova tomorrow. We got more lineups coming in on Wednesday. We got more shows on Thursday and Friday as well. Shows hitting on Saturday and Sunday. If you want to know the lineup, just simply go to Prime Coverage Sports Network. They got the full lineup of shows for everyone to view, but we've got it all Monday through Sunday here on Prime Coverage Sports Network. Cal, thank you, my brother, for joining. You know I love you hosting this show with me.
Always.
We keep it unfiltered, baby. We keep it unfiltered. And once again, make sure you go check us out. If you missed this, just simply go back and watch the replay on YouTube. Prime Coverage Sports Network, Unfiltered Sports. Mac and Cal, we're out.
Yeah, hey, drop.
Prime Coverage Sports Network. Real coverage, real conversation.